Mike Fisher reporting from the Star. Before we get too caught up in what's coming up next, the draft, free agency, coaching moves, and of course coaching moves might be coming up sooner rather than later, and we'll keep you posted on all those. We'll have insight for you on Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn, Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and more. We'll do it all from here at the Star, of course. Going nowhere. Before we get ahead of ourselves and lose one critical factor of what happened in Sunday, NFL playoff weekend, we need to get into the game. And so I thought we'd do an analytical breakdown with flair, of course, as we always do. The Cowboys knew this going in, and you did too. Against this 49er team, like against most any team, but specifically with this team, specific boxes that had to be checked. There were specific things that this team knew it had to do against that team, or else. And the Cowboys were very confident about their ability to do those things. And then, the game happened. Certain boxes that had to be checked at AT&T Stadium. And I'm going to illustrate for you here as the Cowboys watching their promising season, your promising season, shrivel away. I'm going to suggest to you that when we go through these boxes, we're going to find the Cowboys checked exactly none of them on their way to a come crashing down 23-17 season-ending loss to a Niners team that, fine, they're good. An underdog Niners team on the road with Jimmy G at quarterback. And a vulnerable secondary. So, let's go through the boxes. First of all, and this is a quarterback league, this is a quarterback sport. So, box number one, rely on the cool excellence of quarterback Dak Prescott. Nope. There was a last-minute desperation bomb, and then there was the slide. But there was no cool, and there was no excellence. And, of course, on the slide play, as I think people are coming to realize, that was not the referee's fault. The Cowboys got cute and thought they could run a play that would put them in position to, by the way, do what? Have a 25-yard Hail Mary against this 49er secondary that would have had 8 defensive backs standing in the end zone. Good luck. Whatever. Cool excellence of Dak? Nope. Be crisp enough to end the trend of being the NFL's most penalized team? Nope. The Cowboys are still the NFL's most penalized team. 14 penalties in this game. And we can be nitpicky if we want to. You played undisciplined football. You played sloppy football. You got bullied and then wrestled your bullied to the ground. That's holding. Oh, speaking of physical, out physical bully ball. The Cowboys really got sick of hearing about bully ball all week, and they were going to do something about it. Even Zach Martin says we came out and they punched us right in the mouth. The 49ers punched Zach Martin, figuratively, in the mouth, and the Cowboys could do nothing about it. So, no check. Okay, fine. If you're not going to out-physical them and you want to do the stupid finesse game, fine. Let's not call it finesse. Let's call it skill. If you're not going to out-physical them, let's out-skill them using your collection of high-octane stars to just make more plays than the grinded-out 49ers. Nope. How about history? How about harken back to the early 90s and ride the coattails of tradition and be inspired by what those Cowboys teams did to those 49ers teams? 2 out of 3 times. Pretty good. Nope. Dak is the $40 million quarterback who was erratic at best. In fact, there was, for the first 3 quarters for sure, erratic would almost be a compliment. By the game's end, he's 23 of 43? Not good percentage-wise. 254 yards, deceiving. With a rushing touchdown, fine. But never quite again made the play. Big game, big opponent, big moment, big play. Dak hasn't done that enough to put it into your head or his head since his rookie year. that this is just what I do. I win these games. Because the fact is, they don't win. They win a lot of games this year. They won 12 of them. They won twice as many games as they lost. But they don't win these games. They won one of these games at New England. One. 18 tries. Did it once. The first half touchdown throw to Amari Cooper breathed a little life into a Cowboys offense that was so reminiscent of what the Cowboys were against Arizona a couple weeks ago. This was a carbon copy of that, and that's bad. Then comes the third quarter interception, a bunch of wild thing throws, Charlie Sheen reference, and efficiency was impossible. The fourth down heave to Cedric Wilson would have been nice, but again, you can't rely on desperation. And having 1 second work out in your favor on the slide would have been nice, but then you're relying on desperation again. There's no evidence that this team at all wins in those moments. And in fact, they had 2 of those moments and didn't. Then you get the Dak run. The slide. Precious seconds. Ticking off. And we're going to get into this more specifically all by itself. You can't run that play and slide with that few of seconds left and think that the referee is going to sprint 25 yards and catch up with you. But if he does, you got to hand him the ball. You don't hand the center of the ball. In fact, Dak should have slid, turned around, and thrown the ball to the ref. Literally. Literally. The Cowboys say, oh, we practice this all the time. Well, next year, practice that. Slide, pop up, and throw the ball backwards to the ref. Because in that circumstance, the ref has the ball, he's looking at the clock, and now it's on him. He could theoretically stop the clock then, because he's got the ball. Then it's on him to be a 60-year-old guy who can't sprint as fast as a 30-year-old guy. And he might be able to do something about it. But you slide, you hand the ball to BULLSH, BULLSH puts the ball down like he's going to snap it, and the ref's going in there tackling the both of you. He's not interfering with your play. He's saving your ass. Because if you snap that ball, now it's illegal procedure, and you're done. He's trying to help you and say, don't snap it. I got to touch it. And then we're down there trying to figure out where you want to put it at the 26 or the 26 and an inch. What difference does that make? The refs didn't screw that up nearly as bad as the Cowboys screwed it up. But gosh, it was cute. Oh, we practice that all the time. Well, practice it better. Blocking efficiency. Dallas's penchant for penalties. And the locker room, again, blaming the refs for the flags, failing to realize that it's not an accident when you lead the NFL in penalties. That's not an accident. You did that. And he did it 14 times here. And the false starts and the offsides and the silliness. I think it's haunting for this football team and punishing for this football team that they did succumb to bully ball. And I just thought, there's no way. But it happened. They got pushed around. They got gashed. The Debo touchdown run, I mean, he makes one cut and nobody touches him. And he goes 26 yards, and nobody touches him. You got bullied. Again, if you can't out-physical a team, you outskill them. That's a conventional way to do it, and that's fine. That's football, too. Trayvon Diggs did not outskill anybody. Randy Gregory did not outskill anybody. CeeDee Lamb had 1 catch for 21 yards, did not outskill anybody. Ezekiel Elliott, 12 carries, 31 yards, did not outskill anybody. The weapons fizzled. The firecrackers were wet. And then finally, how about outthink them? Okay, fine. We can't out-quarterback them. We can't out-muscle them. We can't out-history them. We can't out-finesse them. Why don't we outthink them? And this is why Mike McCarthy's name is being tossed about today. And why some people are saying, Kellen Moore does what now? They're down 23-7. And again, I guess you can give them credit for trying. They're down 23-7 early in the fourth against a good team that knows how to grind it out. Cowboys pull off a fake punt. Yay, bones. They turn a 4th and 5 into a 16-yard pass from the punter, Brian Anger, to special teamer C.J. Goodwin, who can't catch the football, but he catches this one. But queerly, on the next play, the offense isn't ready to snap the ball in time because somewhere between Mike, Kellen, and Bones, they want to leave the punt team on the field to run a play. But, Mike, you just got the freebie of the game, a 16-yard punter pass. And you have the number one offense in football. You want to leave Brian Anger on the field to run your offense when you have the number one offense in football stand on the sidelines? Maybe we're trying to get him to use up a timeout. Cute, adorable, darling. That's not good football. That's not smart football. It's not physical. It's not skilled. It's not smart. It's not nothing. You got a gift of your own execution. Although I don't know how the 49ers didn't realize they're not punting here. They can't punt. They're down 23-7. But fine, they fell for it. And then you thought, you got greedy, we're going to make them fall for it again. Oh, and then they line up too late, I think because guys were on and off the field too much, and another penalty. So they have to settle for a Greg Zuerlein field goal, and at least he didn't miss it. Factually, as excited as we all were, especially those of us who were around in the 90s, the idea that this is going to be Cowboys-Niners, this was nothing like that. Those teams on both sides, and I covered both of them, were about talent feeding off challenges. This Cowboy team is about talent shrinking in front of the challenge. Dak Prescott promised his team would be up to the challenge. He was wrong. And again, trying hard in the fourth quarter when you're down 23-7 does not really get you a gold star or a cookie. Before the game, Dak said, I don't know why people label the word pressure as such a bad thing. Pressure's good. It creates high expectations, high standards, usually creates high results. Nope. On this day, pressure was a bad thing. Execution was a bad thing. Penalties were a bad thing. Attempts at being physical, bad thing. Attempts at being skilled, bad thing. Attempts at being smart, bad thing. And so now we have the questions about Coach Mike McCarthy's stewardship, and those questions, for the moment, are going nowhere. We have the questions about the Prescott-led offense. Those questions are going nowhere. The questions about the defense, led by rookie Micah Parsons, because the defense didn't win the game either, going nowhere. Micah, before the game, said, I think this is just another game. The only difference is this will dictate if we're going home or not, and I hope we're not going home. Well, hope the Cowboys had. They checked that box. They sure hoped. But every other box went unchecked. And now, in addition to the questions going nowhere, the Dallas Cowboys are going nowhere. Please subscribe to what we do if you like our insight, our presentation, our exclusive, and our access to the star. We'd love to have you come here with us by subscribing to the Fish Report. Also tell your friends in Cowboy Nation. We do it with straight dope. We do it with no BULLSH. And we do it about 20 hours a day. So come along on the ride with us. Fish out.